Hello. In this video, we will show you how to install a Gerber universal fill valve. The universal fill valve is designed to be compatible with most gravity-fed, lever-controlled toilets. You may find it helpful to have a bucket, towel, sponge, flashlight, and gloves handy. Before you begin, make sure you have all of the necessary components. Use the installation manual to double-check that you have all the parts. If your water supply is not already off, you can do so by turning the valve under your toilet clockwise. Flush the toilet to drain the tank. Hold the lever down to drain as much water from the tank as possible. Use a towel or sponge to remove any residual water from the tank. Disconnect the refill tube from the existing fill valve. Please note how the refill tube is positioned and secure with the overflow tube, as you will need to ensure it is in the same state at the end of installation. Place a bucket under the fill valve. Under the tank, disconnect the supply hose from the tank. Then remove the fill valve locking nut by turning it counterclockwise. Remove the old fill valve from the tank and discard. Now you'll want to set the fill valve height and determine the appropriate refill restrictor. Scan the QR code in the manual. Locate the tank model number in your tank. Using the list accessed via the QR code, install the corresponding color refill restrictor onto your fill valve. We're demonstrating with a Viper tank, model GWS 38590, which requires the blue refill restrictor. For Gerber toilets, the fill valve height will be either 10, 11, or 12 inches. Use the list accessed via the QR code to determine the proper fill valve height for your specific toilet tank model. Again, we're demonstrating with Viper tank GWS 38590, which requires a height of 11 inches. To adjust the fill valve height, push the lock ring up to loosen. Adjust the fill valve height by screwing or unscrewing the assembly. When the proper height is selected, pull the lock ring down to tighten. To install the universal fill valve in the tank, first remove the locking nut from the bottom of the fill valve shank. Insert the fill valve into the tank by placing the bottom or the threaded portion of the assembly into the tank hole. Be careful not to over-tighten. Secure the valve assembly by turning the locking nut clockwise. Reattach the refill tube onto the new fill valve. Please note that the refill tube must be positioned into or on the overflow tube. Reconnect the water supply hose to the fill valve. Slowly turn on the water supply. Check for leaks at all connection points. Allow the tank to refill. Verify that the water is filled to the level at the marked water line on the back wall of the tank. Check for leaks at all connection points. If the water level is below or above the marked water line, you can adjust the water level by turning the water level adjustment screw on the fill valve either left or right. This will float the cup up or down to increase or reduce the water level in the tank. Once all adjustments have been made, test the valve by flushing the toilet. Make sure the toilet flushes and refills properly. Check for leaks at all connection points, especially check the connecting point under the tank. If there is any water dripping, hand tighten more or slowly tighten with a wrench, being extremely careful not to over-tighten to avoid cracking the nut. If you have any questions while installing the fill valve, please know our dedicated technical support team is here to help. Please visit gerber-us.com/support to view contact information and hours of service. Congratulations! You've successfully installed Gerber's universal fill valve. This valve will provide leak-free functionality and peace of mind. Thank you for choosing Gerber.